Hey guys, welcome to another review. Today I'll be reviewing Ash Princess by Sebastian. I did receive a free eGalley from Penguin Random House on NetGalley, so thank you for that. This is a book that, of course, is highly anticipated. It was so hard to get. I'm very excited that I got the chance to read it early. It took me longer than I thought to actually read it, but it wasn't because the book was not good. It was a very good book. It's just because, I got caught up in college life, homework, being a student, getting a job, writing, all this other stuff. So, I don't like that it took me, I think a couple weeks to read it. But I'm so glad I actually finished it because it was really, really good. So, the point of view of this book is first person, and it's from Sedosia / Theo / Thora. It's all one person. Apologies if I don't pronounce any names correctly, by the way. You know me. So she's one girl, but she's got these different personalities. Right now, her main focus, she is Lady Thora. And she is held captive, basically, in her mother's castle. But, this book focuses a lot on the need for freedom because, Theodosia really wants to be free. She hasn't been free in 10 years. And I do want to go ahead and mention that the trope in this book is potentially a love triangle. Just to let you know, it's not a strong love triangle right now, but we'll get to that later. So Theodosia, she is a prisoner to the Kaiser, who I will go ahead and say is your typical fat ruler who loves power. So you can get that in your head and just cringe because I did. She lives in her mother's castle, and this is because her mother was murdered by the Thane, who is, basically the Kaiser's right-hand man type thing. She actually saw her mother being murdered, and it was it's a really gruesome thing. So, Theodosia has never really recovered, but she knows if she wants to stay alive, then she has to make the Kaiser happy, and this also comes into play with her abuse. She is constantly whipped if the Kaiser thinks anything is her fault, but she knows she has to go through it because, she needs to survive. She also is forced to wear this crown that is literally causing ash flakes to fall, hence the name Ash Princess. And it's a humiliating form of abuse for her because she wears it whenever there's a banquet, a ball type thing. Immediately in the story, she is forced to execute her last piece of family, which she finds out in the most horrible way. And because of this, she basically says, okay, I've had enough. I can't live like this anymore. I can't keep putting myself through this. So she wants revenge. She literally wants the Kaiser's blood on her hands. So, with the help of some allies, one being from her childhood, she plots to seduce Soren, who is the prince, and also to murder Cress, who is her quote-unquote heart sister, and Cress's father, the Thane. So with Soren, he's a complicated character. He goes through that typical battle with himself, should I trust my father or should I trust my heart? And I don't know, for me, it's hard for me to trust his character because he's just, when I was reading the book, I just didn't like him. He shows his ugly side too much. So I don't know if he's a good character. I just, he makes up too many excuses, for his attitude, but, I think he had one excuse too many. So I'm not a big fan of him. And obviously, Theodosia develops feelings for Soren, and this includes constant denial for those feelings, which good for her because we don't like him. So her allies guide her, including Blaze, who is the childhood friend I mentioned. Blaze, he worked in the gem mines, and there are these gems, by the way, that give people power. There's a fire gem that causes heat, earth gem, stuff like that. But working in the gem mines, it causes some people to be poisoned by the gems, where they just go mad with power, basically, of those gems. So Blaze is potentially poisoned because of working in the gem mines, but it's not really confirmed, but it's pretty obvious by what happens. So what we're seeing in the book basically is, his power is slowly growing, so I'm pretty sure that'll be a focus in the next book, which will be very interesting because Blaze and Theodosia do have this connection, which I enjoyed. It'd be interesting to see, because Theodosia is kind of denying that Blaze actually has this kind of gem power growing inside him. Like, she doesn't want to think anything bad can happen to him. So it'll be interesting. What I think will probably happen, though, in the second book is, of course, since it's the typical love triangle trope, there will be trust issues. Theodosia will start to trust Seren again, and then something will happen with Blaze, and then she'll go to Seren, and then so on and so forth. We see it all the time. That'll be interesting, though. So, I'm all for it. I also said she must betray Cress, who is her heart sister, ever since Theodosia, became captive in the castle, really. She and Cress have been friends, but to me, I don't think Cress was really a true friend to Theodosia. She was very annoying. She's very prissy, and I did not like that at all. She wants to marry Seren and become a ruler her way, which basically means, like, Theodosia wants, if Theodosia was ruler, okay, she would want to, basically free the slaves and make, like, everyone around her just have peace. There wouldn't be any slavery. There wouldn't be any destruction. But, of course, Cress, that's not what she would do. She doesn't want equality, basically. And Cress is obviously aware that Theodosia has feelings for Seren, but, she doesn't care. She wants to be a princess and so bad. And, it's not just that doesn't make her a true friend. It's just the way she acts toward Theodosia, like, treating her like a plaything, basically. Like, something to dress up or whatever, and just manipulating her. I just did not like it. So, Cress is a villain. I don't like her. You won't like her either. I don't see anyone that would like her. So, let me just say this, though. At the end, with Cress, I'll go ahead and say she is alive, so you'll see her in the second book. But I will say, Cress got what she deserved. So, you'll find out when you read the book. Yeah. So, back to Theodosia. Throughout all this, she must figure out who she can really trust. It goes back and forth because she wants to trust her allies, Blaze, in order to escape and get her freedom. And then she struggles with trusting Seren and Cress and, actually staying or doing something else or not killing them, because she's supposed to kill these people to actually escape, but she doesn't want to. So it's kind of back and forth thing, and it's very interesting to see her reasoning play out. In my opinion, I think she made the right choices. You can't take it lightly when you have to kill someone. Otherwise it wouldn't really be a good YA book. It wouldn't have much conflict, But Theodosia, I liked her. She's a strong girl. She's very interesting. But she does need to grow more. I didn't see much growth in this first book, but, it is a series, so hopefully she will learn more, she'll grow more, she'll become stronger, because I do think she needs to get more of a backbone and to trust herself. I think that's the main issue. She doesn't trust herself 100%, especially to become queen. People call her Your Highness, but she always falters from that name. So just above all, I want her to see that she can trust herself, that she can be courageous. So hopefully we'll see something of that in the second book when it comes out. And on an end note, I'll just go ahead and say again, you will not like the Kaiser. He is, just picture the typical fat kings you see in history books and paint the face a little bit more red. and you'll have the Kaiser right there. So, it's disgusting. The purchase links are below this review on my website, theclockworkbibliophile.com. This book does come out April 24th, so you better pre-order while you can. Bye.